Coming up on SBU TV, we take a closer look at the last seconds of the men's basketball game versus VCU and get a fashion update at a local clothing store. Hello and welcome to SBU TV. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Josh Svetz. Last week's basketball game between St. Bonaventure and Virginia Commonwealth University ended in a rather unusual manner. Ethan Kibbe reports, beginning in the final moments of the second half.
Matt Mobley scores, giving St. Bonaventure a 1-point lead with 4/10 of a second left on the clock. A security officer grabs the ball to keep it from rolling out of bounds, and a fan from the stands collides with an official. VCU inbounds the ball, the clock expires, and fans storm the court. A technical foul is assessed because of the storming. VCU makes the free throw and wins the game in overtime. The next day, the Atlantic 10 Conference issues a statement saying the fans are not at fault, but blaming the security guard for touching the ball. Bonaventure's athletic director, Tim Kenney, disagrees with this assessment.
To point blame at anybody from St. Bonaventure is wrong in this case, because in the end it was really lack of control by the referees.
So what does he think should have happened?
The referee should have just stopped the play and reset the clock, made sure everything was right at .4, and then gone from there.
The guard won't be disciplined, and security measures worked.
A year and a half ago, Kenney said he had this row of seats installed so that students rushing onto the court would be funneled into this smaller opening.
Drew Bille was on the court and says he regrets causing the university to receive negative attention.
It's sad that we only get exposure when it's negative things, but when it's positive, we're never really in the limelight.
Kenney says the incident will not lead to further security, which Christian Gravius says is a good thing.
I'm going to take every opportunity I have to do that again.
For SBU TV, I'm Ethan Kibbe.
Kenney says the conference is investigating the incident and will file a formal report with St. Bonaventure.
And now to the women's team. The team celebrated cancer survivors at their game against LaSalle. Hailey Gattuso has more.
St. Bonaventure hosted its annual Pink Game on Tuesday to raise money and awareness for cancer and celebrate survivors. Survivors and their families were invited to a reception in the Athletics Hall of Fame room before the game. I attended the reception where I was able to hear some of their stories.
So this year will be my 5th year of survival, which I hate to cry, but it's very kind of emotional.
I'm a breast cancer survivor. I'm going on 8 years this September.
The Bonaventure Cancer Awareness Game is different from others because it focuses on local families and works with a local organization.
One of the unique things that was neat this year was involving the Pink Pumpkin Project, which is a local organization that was started in 2012 just by a lady who named Lynn Anzavine, whose sister was fighting cancer in 2012, and she just came up with this idea to help raise funds for it. And since 2012, they've raised over $112,000, which has affected 120 individuals.
Events like the Pink Game are important because it shows people battling cancer that they have support.
My one daughter was there for me through a lot, and she was a former co-chair at Bonas, and she went to all the appointments and was there through things. It helps a lot, yeah, just to know someone's there for you.
For SBU TV, I'm Hailey Gattuso.
The Bonnies showed overwhelming support in their pink apparel earlier this week.
A campus director will soon step down from the position. Natalie has more.
When you walk through the Swan Business Center, the Grotto, or SBU TV's production truck, you might not realize there is one mastermind behind it all. Phil Winger has helped facilitate all of these projects, including this campus gym. I had a chance to sit down with the facilities director to reflect on his upcoming semi-retirement.
The title is facility planner, and that means that I'll be working on the, not on the day-to-day operations, but on our developing our future projects.
Winger mentions that he is an engineer first and a manager second.
We think we have a unique campus environment, and it's the groundskeepers and carpenters and mechanics that keep it that way.
Overall, Winger is content with the work he has accomplished and will only continue to move forward.
Look around and say, this is my place, and how it appeals to students and faculty is my responsibility.
For SBU TV, I'm Natalie.
Winger will continue to assist maintenance workers in several projects.
Olean was an important stop on the Underground Railroad. Nicolette DiMura has the story.
Olean and the surrounding areas were key spots on the Underground Railroad.
This was a highly active area in the Underground Railroad. There were a lot of luminaries, judges, people who were well-to-do.
Underground Railroad in Olean, it was a thriving business. It was one of the most successful.
Prior to the Civil War, people in the North were aroused to the horror of slavery.
The roots are strong. There were slaves in this region. They were harbored here. They were part of the community. And there were people who stood in the face of evil.
The house behind me belonged to Sarah Johnson, who was a runaway slave and came here to Olean when she was 13 years old.
Sarah Johnson, a female runaway slave, was granted a land deed in Olean. That was almost unheard of.
It became a very popular icon in the area.
Other escaped slaves stopped in Olean to get food and directions to Canada from the Martins Hotel, now called the Olean House.
Because of our relationship to getting to Canada, this was kind of called the main line, and it ran through Allegheny and Cattaraugus counties.
When slaves came to the Olean area, they were welcomed, sheltered, and protected. No one was ever recaptured. For SBU TV, I'm Nicolette DiMura.
For more information about the Underground Railroad in Olean, visit the link below.
Madeleine Faircloth went back in style this week in our series on local businesses.
Big name brands, vintage shop look, and complimentary tailoring services, all in the heart of Olean.
Here at Armonds Fashions for Men, they try to keep old-fashioned in fashion.
Owner Craig DiCola explains how that old-fashioned style goes much further than just the clothes they sell.
There used to be 7 men's stores here in 5 blocks, and there would be 7 women's stores. Everything was individualized, and it was all personal service. We buy differently, we act differently toward customers. When you walk in this door, you could get a pair of jeans. I'm going to shorten them for you. If I had to, I'd take in the waist. If you got a suit, I would fully tailor it for you. Yeah, so it's always been that way.
How does a small specialty shop still compete? DiCola said it just comes down to service, both customer and product.
So when they come in, I just feel like, hey, I'm going to help this person. And that's my philosophy. Help whoever comes in, the next person that comes in the door. We just didn't trade money. You know what I mean? I've had people, Craig, I have an interview tomorrow. I'll stay here till 7 o'clock at night tailoring a suit for him or something. It's just things like that. But that is very fulfilling when you help people.
Armonds is open Monday through Saturday, 12 to 4, and offers family tailoring, big and tall sizing, tuxedo rentals, custom suit orders, and of course, lots of mannequins. For SBU TV, I'm Madeleine Faircloth.
For more information on Armonds, visit the link below.
The mayor headed to the Statler Hotel in Buffalo to receive an award for the completion of the North Union Street construction project. Amelia has the story.
About 2 years of construction disarray and traffic detours on North Union Street turned into a plaque hanging in Olean Mayor William Aiello's office. On February 2nd, Aiello accepted the city's first Transportation Project of the Year award from the Western New York American Public Works Association. Aiello says the Buffalo-based engineering firm Mott McDonald submitted an application.
Olean was one of 3 that received the Transportation Award.
The design of the nearly $9 million project began in 2014 and construction ended in late 2016. The project changed the busy street from a 4-lane road with traffic lights to a 2-lane roundabout design. Aiello says the city won because the project designers had to overcome obstacles like creating pedestrian-safe walkways and room for large trucks to go through.
And one of those obstacles, redesigning an entire street while leaving sets of railroad tracks, like these ones, intact.
It's more of an honor. There's not any monetary award with it.
If that meant he had to give an impromptu speech.
Indeed, I was expected to say something, so I kind of had to wing that.
With SBU TV, I'm Amelia Kibbe.
The mayor said the awards for Western New York generally include the counties west of the Rochester area. The engineering firm plans to enter the project in more competition.
The Grammys have been stirring up quite a bit of controversy lately. Here's more.
This Sunday, some of the world's top musicians will gather for spectacle and recognition at the Staples Center in Los Angeles for the 59th annual Grammys. But with prominent artists such as Justin Bieber, Drake, and Kanye West reportedly not attending the event, and superstar R&B artist Frank Ocean not even submitting his critically acclaimed album Blonde for consideration, one may wonder if the Grammys is still a legitimate measure of the best artists in music.
Awards do not determine good music. Awards determine commonalities that people seem to enjoy about music.
I think the Grammys are losing, legitimacy year after year.
Their calendar, the idea of October 1st to September 30th, makes them, in my mind, irrelevant because the last quarter of the year, they're missing out on some really great albums put out for the holidays that have to wait an entire year for Grammy nomination, and by that time they're forgotten about.
So then what are the Grammys good for?
There's artists there that I want to see perform.
Its strongest element is other performances.
Still, skepticism remains around if the Grammys can survive.
It's going to be interesting to see if it's even around in a couple of years.
I wouldn't be surprised within 10 years if the Grammys are gone.
For SBU TV, I'm Josh Svetz.
You can watch the Grammys at 8 p.m. on CBS.
President Trump's travel ban has the nation in an uproar. Brittany Slomba reports.
On January 27th, President Donald Trump signed an executive order suspending the entry of immigrants into the United States from 7 different countries for 90 days. While the president thinks this is a way to protect national security, others think of the order as a direct hit to the Muslim community. Director for the Center of Arab and Islamic Studies, Father Michael Calabria, describes the order as wrong-headed and unjust.
We are acting in a contradictory way to who we are and who we say we are as a country. This country was obviously built on people who came to the United States in order to have a better life.
St. Bonaventure University students hosted a gathering to demonstrate their opposition of the executive order.
We had a lot of people come and voice their opinions and show their support and stand in solidarity. Overall, it was very impactful.
Professor Carol McNall discusses the legality behind the executive order.
There's a legal doctrine that says a law has to have at least a rational relationship to what you say you're trying to do. And apparently the judge in Seattle was having some trouble seeing a rational relationship between I'm going to keep the country safe and I'm going to ban people from just these 7 countries.
McNall added that this will end up in the Supreme Court sooner rather than later. For SBU TV, I'm Brittany Slomba.
To read the entire executive order, visit the link below.
As Lent approaches, Katie Tercek has the details on Ash Wednesday at St. Bonaventure University.
On March 1st, St. Bonaventure University will hold Ash Wednesday services to mark the first day of Lent.
What's the best way that I can use these years on this planet that God gives to us? So it's a celebration of our humanity.
57% of the students at St. Bonaventure identify themselves as Roman Catholic. If you are not Catholic, you are still welcome to attend the services.
Ash Wednesday is when we get the most amount of people to come to Mass or services.
Ash Wednesday services will be held here in the University Chapel at 8 a.m., 12 p.m., and 9 p.m. with an additional Mass at 5 p.m. For SBU TV, I'm Katie Tercek.
For more information about Ash Wednesday services, go to this link.
That's all for us here at SBU TV. Thanks for watching and have a great day.